confusing situation. I'm baffled by it.
Carlos Schwartz still can't believe what happened. 24-year-old Patrick Cremens and 22-year-old Tim Daddario were trying to cross these train tracks in Upper Milford Township Monday. They were on their way home from work to a nearby bus stop when they were hit by a passing train in the 500 block of Chestnut Street. Both men were new to the area, but shared the same hopes of bettering their lives. They lived in the same recovery home. Cremens came from New York City.
I know he was a good kid. He was young. He was doing the best to his ability to get his life back on track.
Daddario from the Philadelphia area.
Said he was a funny guy, talked a lot.
Both men worked here at Hirsch's Landscaping. The company is closed today in honor of them. Behind me, the flag is lowered half-mast and a banner is hung in their memory.
It is hitting all of our staff members very hard at this time, including us.
The company plans to help the families in any way. They also plan to start a college fund for Daddario's 4-year-old daughter.
They were both very up and coming within our company. We had a lot of hopes for them.
Hirsch says walking the tracks is a shortcut for her employees who rely on public transportation. It's accessible to and from work and avoids this busy bridge. However, Hirsch says starting Wednesday, no one is allowed to walk the tracks. Christine Edelmeyer, 69 News. Not uncommon to see fox and deer this time of year, but you could see something different roaming around. North Whitehall Township Manager Jeff Bartlett says there's been some sightings of coyote in the area. He shared with us some tips on what you can do to protect yourselves and your furry little friends.
If you do encounter one, they usually will run. You can usually scare them off.
Bartlett says they're more nocturnal and reclusive than others, and unless they're pressed for food, will remain to themselves. He says their diet, however, consists mostly of other animals, including our beloved friends.
Coyotes like domestic cats as a food.
If you have an outdoor cat, Bartlett suggests you keep a close eye on them, especially near wooded areas. He also says watch out for your small dogs when you let them out to play.
Put them on a leash or keep them penned up in an area where you can kind of keep an eye on what's happening. Don't just leave them outside for an hour and expect them to maybe be there.
According to Bartlett, coyotes are common in the northern parts of PA, but says it's nothing too much to worry about.
You're not going to see them out too often during the day. You might, by chance, if someone's walking through the woods and scares one out.
He says if you do encounter one with aggressive behavior, it's important to contact the Game Commission office or your local police department, for rabies may be a factor. Christine Edelmeyer, 69 News.
This heroin epidemic is a public health issue.
Emergency personnel and members of the Hunterdon County Justice Center and Hunterdon Medical Center gathered for today's press conference on the decision to collaborate with one another on the distribution of naloxone to police officers.
In Hunterdon County, typically, it's the police that are first on the scene.
Naloxone, also known as Narcan, is an antidote used to reverse the side effects of a heroin or opiate overdose. Hunterdon County Prosecutor Anthony Kern says with overdoses, it's seconds between life and death.
If the police are equipped with this antidote, they may be in the position to save a life.
Emergency responders already carry naloxone in IV form. Now, non-medical personnel will be able to administer it in the form of nozzle spray.
If it looks like an opioid overdose, that's the way they'll treat it and they'll administer the medication.
President and CEO of Hunterdon Medical Center says the hospital's $2,500 purchase of the antidote is the first step in saving lives and the community.
We, as a Hunterdon Medical Center partner, are investing in the solutions they believe can contribute to solving this epidemic.
Hunterdon County has seen an enormous amount of opiate and heroin overdoses. In 2013, there were 15, 7 fatal. This year alone, already 14, 4 fatal.
It's a county-wide initiative that will be the solution to solving these problems.
Officers still have to go through training, but the goal is to have them equipped sometime this summer. Christine Edelmeyer, 69 News.
Basically, the lake latest evolution of internet scams.
You can find more than internet sensations these days on YouTube. An investigation by Digital Citizens Alliance shows that scammers are using the site to sell personal information, including credit card and social security numbers.
Frustrating in the sense that the bad guys are profiting, and these individuals that are buying this stuff, if they ever get caught, they face possible jail time and other penalties, plus restitution of their victims.
The Alliance reports finding dozens of YouTube videos pushing stolen and bogus credit cards. Some where cards could be purchased from various countries starting at only $4.
If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Research also showed related search topics. Top results were credit card numbers that work and CC info with CVV. David Schechter of Univest stresses how important it is to keep your banking in check.
The best way a consumer can protect themselves is by reviewing their statements every single month, whether it comes from their credit card company or their bank. They have to carefully review them.
Schechter says you must be aware. If you become a victim of credit card theft, contact your bank within 60 days. If you become a victim of identity theft, file a police report and keep a paper trail.
If you want the conveniences that the internet provides, and the internet is a phenomenal tool and it's a phenomenal resource, you just have to be smart about what you do it.
To ensure your online safety, always visit a secure HTTPS site. Christine Edelmeyer, 69 News. What started off as a report on a stolen pocket knife quickly turned into a report on a bomb threat and a request for a pizza delivery. Timothy Snyder requested officers to his home after he believed an investigation he filed earlier that day on a stolen pocket knife was moving too slow. When officers didn't arrive on his time, he placed a second call to police and threatened he had a bomb placed in his apartment on the 700 block of Main Street. When officers arrived, the 7-hour standoff began.
It's like watching a movie. Stuff like this doesn't happen in Northampton normally.
Between all the chaos, Snyder had one more surprise up his sleeve. He wanted a pizza and $200, neither which he received.
We did make attempts to try and get him out, but he was cursing and carrying on and yelled at us.
After several hours, Snyder surrendered and was brought out in handcuffs.
We heard some cheers. There were people down in the alley, but we stayed in the house where we were told to stay.
Despite the false threat, residents and Detective Dice said the situation was handled properly and are proud of all the forces present.
Officers did a fantastic job.
The police doing their job, that's for sure.
Snyder is now under psychiatric evaluation and his condition is unknown. He is, however, facing charges on terroristic threats and reckless endangerment. Reporting from Northampton, Christine Edelmeyer, 69 News.